So I had we had a captain's meeting on Sunday, and I was at my house, and my internet at my house was awful, and there was lots of words that were coming through and not coming through. So I'm here at my office so I can get the good internet, and then I just enabled transcript just in case. But we were talking about vats of wine, and then we got giggly, and I couldn't really get much done, could I, Lisa O'Donnell? But it was fun, and that's the whole point. Is it's a lot of work, and I won't, I won't really overstate it, but Kat Picaro, you've been there, at these meetings as well, and really been helpful in guiding us and making sure that we're in line. There's some things that are going on this week. I'm going before the licensing commission on Thursday. And all our ducks are in order. I believe the fire and the police have both signed off on that. But we need to get that. We have insurance that I'm just finishing some final touches on, but we'll proceed with that. The parking, we talked about it last time, but Amanda took care of the park and recreation, the license for being at City Hall Plaza. But I am telling you guys, I am feeling the vibe that is out there, and people are talking about it. The schools are engaged. It's almost like as soon as, Halloween, it was a little bit of a lull, but then all of a sudden now it's like, whew, which is all in time for the, all the deadlines, and people are saying, hey, is it too late? Hey, is it too late? It will never really be too late unless you're just showing up the day of and you say, hey, I want to be in the parade. That's where we need to have a little bit of challenge. But just to every single one of you, and Kat Picaro and Eddie Sylvester and Lisa and Cindy and Pam and Frank, as well as Danielle and Amanda, and there's a whole host of people who aren't on this, who will be receiving this recording. It certainly takes a village, and will continue to take a village. And just a couple of things is that Brockton Community Access is shored up. It's going to be Newbie Rateau and one of his students, Angela, as well as John Marion. And my hope was exactly that, right? So you want someone as experienced as John Marion, who has done these parades for a gazillion, and then you get Newbie, who's been, having the camp, the videography camp that's with Mass Hire over at Brockton Community Access, and then having them utilize that. It is a great mix of old and new, and that's, I believe, is the spirit of where we are today. I'm looking at nice diversity of our organization. Again, I don't think we've reported out to you, but we've known this is that we're capped. We are capped at 46 vendors. I repeat that one more time? Wow. That is 46 vendors, marketplace vendors. Shalia and I walked the space on Veterans Day on Friday, and just took a look at the space and kind of see of how it's going to be all fine. But then how do she's talking about maybe getting some balloons. And I just found in the mix of things that the DBA had is there's this archway that says welcome, and it's like a inflatable, right? To have like that be like a welcome to the marketplace and the food. We've also secured a face painter. I know City Hall's having a face painter, but having another face painter outside, because not everybody's gonna be able to get inside. And we're gonna use one of those igloo tents. The DBA bought 2 of them, and we're going to use one of those igloo tents to have the face painter. So then it's a little bit of a sheltered, and people can wait that way. I am still, so we are not having the Clydesdale, just reconfirming. I'm still looking online for this trackless train that's going to go kind of around downtown, maybe. And Cap, I'll talk to you about that, because I know John Marion had a little bit of concern about whether we should or shouldn't have that. But I really do feel, and I mentioned this at the captain's meeting, is, if we're going to be bringing families, that means grandparents coming with their grandchildren. Some may have some mobility issues. The Brockton Parks Department will have the golf carts available, so we can always utilize that, but that will be on a limited basis. But how cool would it be to have like a hop on, hop off kind of a thing? So that's a wish. If it doesn't happen, no big deal, but it's a wish list. But those are being set, so City Hall has really been updated. Their stuff is all secure. They're still looking for a couple singing groups. Both Trinity and Cardinal Spellman could not participate. So they were looking for a couple other choral. We're going to still keep the outside activities and the things at the amphitheater going on. And I'll have each of the captains do a little bit more reporting out, but I'd like to have Amanda, if you could share that most recent flyer that you did. It is just outstanding, and I just we'll drop it in the chat as well and share it, but it is just outstanding.
Sure, just give me 1 sec to get it pulled up. Okay.
Well, there is the creativity that is oozing out of this woman who's not a Brocktonian. She's a Southie girl who now lives in Whitman, but the love and the passion that she has for the city is right up there as any other Brocktonian who's a lifelong Brocktonian. So I just looked, I said Southie girl, and it said selfie girl. Sorry, I just got a kick out of that. So Amanda, do you want to walk us through this?
Sure.
Thank
so
you.
Still, sorry, as my dog barks, still subject to change, hopefully not too much more, but so we have 9:30 a.m. Brockton City Hall will open first. So before the 10 o'clock kickoff of all the festivities, City Hall will open their doors to families. They're going to be open on the ground floor. The Mayor Sullivan's office will be doing munchkins and cocoa for families. The Brockton Garden Club will be doing a winter bird feeder activity with children and families. And the African American Association will be making holiday ornaments. At 10 o'clock, everything else kicks off. Santa will begin free photos. That's going to be on the ground floor of City Hall. They confirmed today that they have a nice comfy chair and setup for him. 10 to 12, DJ Joe, of course, will be there all day, spinning holiday music. The marketplace will kick off. The food court and some street games on School Street and VFW Parkway. We will have local face painter from Hanson, Mass, Punky Doodles for 3 hours out on School Street. There'll be planetarium shows every half hour at the Brockton Public Library. And they'll also be doing crafts, holiday movies, and some history activities. There'll be a touch-a-truck at the Provolot at 26 School Street. That'll be from 10 to 12. We should have ambulance, police cruiser, fire truck, and maybe DPW. Pinnacle Partnerships is coming to do a vaccine and booster clinic. They are offering a $75 gift card to anybody who gets a vaccine or a booster while supplies last. And then at the amphitheater, we'll have some vocal performances from some local talent. Redeemed Christian Church, and I think we have them on tonight as well. We'll be doing some singing and a dance performance. Nice. And then we'll have a magic show, and we'll close out with another local Brockton singer. And then at 1 o'clock p.m., the parade kicks off. At the conclusion of the parade, we'll invite everybody back to City Hall for some Christmas carols, music, and an official tree lighting. And then I don't know if everybody saw the excellent news, but Brockton Area Transit, all bus fares are being waived from November 25th all the way to the new year. So if anybody's looking for a convenient, I don't want to worry about a parking spot way to get downtown, please let them know that the BAT will be free as of that day.
That's awesome. Thank you for running that down. And the beauty of this, right? So you see family, community, holiday spirit all tied in with beautiful lights and festival, and then on the top, Brockton is the word Brockton itself looks like a piece of artwork in itself. So, Amanda, thank you. I know that there's a couple things here and there, but it is this is a nice place for people are starting to ask what's happening and where to come. I just told my staff there's 5 of them who have young kids, and I just said, hey, I printed out the draft flyer, and I said. I said, I do think the planetarium is going to sell out. There's also activities at the library. We just got the rundown from the library about what they're doing. So no one should be bored on this weekend between things going on at City Hall and the mayor's office. And so, yeah, there's a lot. And I just figured I'd just have that. I don't know if I'm going to turn this maybe over to Lisa. Maybe you give an update on the food vendors.
Hey everyone. Oh, so lots of exciting news, still working towards our goal of 10 food providers. You know, we've run into a few little snags of the smaller businesses that weren't quite licensed and as ready for the documentation that's required for the Board of Health. So again, once I got a little cranky, I kind of stepped back and said, we've got to be thinking about everybody's food safety. And so that's why these laws and these guidelines are exist. So we have many food trucks. We just to name a few, we got the Sausage Guy is coming back. I'm super excited for those of you who have been out to Fenway. Maybe if you saw at the Veterans Day Parade this past weekend, he was with us. Loco Tacos is coming back. Oh, I think they're called Loco Larry's Tacos. Sorry about that. We're working with Cheesy Chicks Mac and Cheese. They're based out of Randolph. A local Brockton business called the Panono. Let's see, like so many, again, moving parts. I'm afraid to say who is and who isn't. There's a waffle business that, as long as the weather can cooperate, because again, if it drops to a frigid cold, they can't get the water supply through their truck, and that really just jams up everything that they are prepared to make that day. So lots of moving parts, but honestly, this is going to be such a great connection to our city and introducing so many food businesses that maybe people don't even know about. So that's the on the street food group, if you will. So again, we're using the Old Colony Elder Services for the lot. And if needed, we also have some space right on School Street that would, kind of let the trucks drive right up to, past the amphitheater and stay right on School Street. So we're shooting for 10. We're close. We're somewhere in the ballpark of 7, 8 right now. I didn't say it out loud, but I'm also in correspondence with the folks that are run out of Maui. They're called Moizilla. They've been great to partner with. Just trying to get all the details buttoned up to get them back, because they were with us at the Veterans Day Parade. So that's the food court. I'm now calling it the food court because that kind of entitles the street and the parking lot.
Mhm.
And then for those of you who know Kadi, she and I are going out on the road tomorrow, talking to the local businesses to talk about the possibility of them either offering a special discount or some kind of draw to bring them into the local businesses. So more to come on that. Our goal is to either have a flyer prepared, or maybe depending on where we land with the day of brochure, we'll be working with some local businesses. But so lots of that in the mix. I just don't want to jinx us and say how many are committed, but lots of conversations happening behind the scenes with the local food rest businesses. So they won't be on the street with us, but they'll be out offering advertisement for their offerings inside their restaurants.
No, and Amanda, thank you, Lisa. Amanda pulled up the this flyer that she has that does exactly that. We want to support the business and the families, and so thank you. I do know that Brockton Beer is going to be doing these box lunches, and that will be for, you can take them on the road, and don't worry, Cap, there won't be any goes into those boxes, but we will make sure. But I know they're doing some special fare, and then Elvera's. So I think, Lisa, you've been at this for a while, and I know you worked on this last year for us as well. So thank you. It's not easy, right? Because you're also, as one comes in and another one steps down, and then it's like, I know it's kind of like, with Maureen, with the participants, okay, they're coming in and then they're doing, and the same thing with the marketplace vendors. But it's a lot of work, and we appreciate what you're doing. And, what I do feel, and once we kind of get that vibe of where the number of food vendors are, we could even have some of the marketplace vendors go into that space too, to make it be a little bit more flowing. So thank you. I will, there still is time, and I know that there's the whole process of working with the Board of Health and getting the permits and all of those things as well, where they need to do that. So the good news is that the permits dropped from $125 to $25. And, if we need some incentives, just, you and I, we can chat about some things. So any questions of Lisa and vendors? I did want just to let you know, Lisa, So I had to go to Staples for my work. And so I go up to Staples and what do I see is a Cape Cod Cafe van. And I'm like, so I took a picture and then I sent it to Jonathan Jamulis and I say, hey, but I know they can't serve food out of a van.
Oh, funny thing you say that you just happened to use them as a reference. I actually was at the Board of Health today, helping one of our partners get settled in their application. And while I was there, I was like, well, what's the rules for businesses that already exist in Brockton but want to come out to the street? So we had that conversation. So we added a lot more businesses to the list that might not necessarily be a draw, like Cape Cod is a little bit too far down Main Street. But I've now put them on the list of people for us to reach out to tomorrow, just to see if it works.
Yeah, well, people are going to regret giving me their cell phones because if once I have their cell phones, Jonathan, if you're listening in, this is what I'm doing. So I said, hey, and then I said, and he said, maybe, but they don't have a food truck. And I was like, well, here's a little bit of an entrepreneurial thing that they need to work on because I think they would have lines out the door. But there was something else I saw along the way that I took pictures of that I was like, oh, this is something that we can do. But I was at J&M Pet and they have this beautiful van that's all with their dogs. And I just got to follow up with Mather and see if they could have the van in the parade. So yeah, I'm just trying to think what else there was. I think, yeah, that was really all. And I was not driving when I was taking the picture, Cap. I was just parked in the park. So but you never know. But so thank you, Lisa. That's great. So if you can hear about that and the different vendors, again, they really are mostly merchants and entrepreneurs who are coming. We do have a list. The list is too long, but we'll be sharing as we get into these next weeks. People are going to be calling about things. The nominations for the parade marshals are closed. We have a committee outside of this committee. We wanted to go for someone outside of this group. And so Amanda and I put our heads together and we found 3 people, and I won't give their names because just in case, but they are reviewing the list now, and they will be coming back to us. We should be hopefully have an announcement. If it's not tomorrow, if it's not Thursday, will be very soon, but it'll be very cool. There is a number of wonderful nominations. And so what else am I doing? Parade participants, the numbers just keep changing. I mean, keep going up and up. So, I mean, if I told you 60, it's probably being conservative. But lots of bands, people are doing floats, just even dancers. I mean, it really, and it's diverse. So I did reach out to the Brockton chapter of NAACP. They could not get enough folks to volunteer. I did reach out to the Haitian Partners. Marlene, she's had the same issues that she can't get a lot of folks to put together a parade, but we're going to keep those lists available. I think the important piece is really reaching out and making sure that we're looking like our community in a very diverse, obviously the schools, but I really wanted to make sure our community groups, the Cape Verdean Association has signed up, and I sent out an email to invite the elected officials to make sure that they know that they're able to be in the parade in March. And Council President Jack Lally is taking the lead on that, and Joyce Azak from school committee is taking the lead on that. And I've asked both of them to take a look at my list to make sure I'm not leaving, but it will be elected officials who are walking. And so anyway, we'll leave it at that. We covered food. What else what am I missing, Amanda?
I don't think we're missing anything.
Oh,
Honestly,
we're
yeah, we're
close to
closer to 80 now.
Holy moly, Cap! Did you hear that, Eddie? Oh, Eddie and Cap. Eddie, you've been brought up the Cap to help with so woohoo. That's good. That makes our parade. I think John Marion said, hey, it could be done over in an hour and a half. I'm like, I'm not quite sure. So how about questions? Greg, Montello Business Association, thank you, and Scott for being supportive.
Thank you. I just had a question, Mary. Did anybody reach out to the Wheels of Time, and has they contacted you?
somebody has, I think Maureen, Amanda, somebody did.
Yep, Wheels of Time is all set, Greg. Thank you.
Okay, and I got a group of my own because I'm not part of Wheels of Time, so I got about 10 to 12 cars myself for coming.
Great.
I just wanted to know, and a lot of the people are asking with the antique cars, do you have a specified location and where to meet?
Right, so that's what we're gonna work on next. That's been my challenge because it's a legitimate question, but because we have so many different parts and full-time
Yeah.
jobs but if you bear with me, you can always text me, Greg, or
Yeah.
send an email, but you said how many cars?
Well, you figure we have 10 and Wheels of Time probably has 15 to 20.
Okay.
So we used to meet at the old front of the Superior Court in that
Yeah,
parking
yeah,
lot.
yeah. Yeah, you know
You
what?
know?
That's right. I know exactly, because I think I was in charge of that lot at one point. That's Cottage Street.
Well, it's across the street,
No.
Mary, I'm sorry, right near the
Okay.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, right, but used to be Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, they used right on the corner. You know, take the left down Warren, run to Belmont. We're right there in that little parking lot around the shrubbery that Superior uses.
Yep, okay. Oh, yeah. So Captain, I'm just kind of looking back, this good question. Are we gonna we're not gonna have any parking in there, correct?
If Mr. Belcher, if you guys want to put the Wheels of Time and other antique type cars in there, I can make sure, Eddie can give me a hand. We can cone that lot off and just let people who need to be in there get in
Yeah.
there.
I appreciate that, Captain, and I'll spread the word.
Sure, no problem, sir.
And we'll get in by, 11 o'clock. I heard that cutoff is, so we want everybody in by 11 because the streets are gonna be shut down. Am I correct?
That is
Yeah.
correct.
Right.
We're hoping
If-
people
if
will
somebody
take.
comes in- Oh, go ahead, Mary.
No, go ahead, Cap.
If somebody comes in late, I mean, it's gonna be right there at Belmont and Warren. We'll be able to get them in, but
Okay.
like you said, better to everybody get there early and just be done with it.
Okay, thank you, Cap. That was one good question I just had to have the answer to a lot of the guys.
But you know what else too, Greg, you bring up a point. I just text John Mary and I need a contact at both courthouses, the district court and Superior Court, just so I can make sure I get permission that we could use that. I mean, it's not utilized on a Saturday. But I just want to make sure we get the permission. It's covered under our insurance if that's an area that will be going, but I need to get the permission. So
Okay,
but that doesn't have really to do with you as a participant. It has more to do with me. And my only question is, Greg, I know we've got Wheels of Time lined up, but we need to did you go onto the portal and submit your?
well, that's what I was waiting at Wheels of Time to go and then I was gonna submit. So
Okay,
I'll
thanks.
be the contact on that
Great.
For my group.
Great.
And then we'll meet at that certain spot.
Great. What are we gonna call your group? Do you know?
We could call it the the
Greg's
Brockton Antique,
Bikers.
the Brockton Antique Club.
Great.
Or the
Okay.
Brockton, these are the guys like Les Lucia. They
Oh,
used
yeah.
to have the North Main Street Gas and
Yeah.
a lot of these guys have been around forever, they're older than me. They're in their 80s and they got a beautiful cars,
Right.
And did you get a hold of for a grand marshal at the Copeland?
Yes, hang on one second. I did. Danielle, did you leave already? She did. All right, that's okay.
Okay,
Sure.
so you're all
Okay.
set there,
Yeah.
Mary.
So we are, thank you though. But you know who might be reaching out is Bill Hogan. He's got like a elderly athletic group that he has, and I think he was gonna look to maybe put someone in like an antique car.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay,
He
I'll
wanted to
connect,
ride in there.
I'll connect you with Bill Hogan.
Someone was asking about one of the Wheels of Time. Is KO still in business, KO?
So as a matter of fact, yes, and they have, I believe they have somebody, and I said, hey, do you have a car that goes with it? But they don't have a car. Because to have KO just be out on KO's time, so KO may be available, Greg.
Okay, because one guy said he used to drive KO previously. He's still interested and he's in the
Great.
Wheels of Time, so I can
Beautiful,
get a hold of him.
great. Great, and we have the Wheels of Time contact. There's
Do
always
you,
to-dos. Mhm.
do you need a snowman? Do you have a snowman?
So we, not a live one. Guy, do you have a suit?
Well, I have a costume and I might dress up my wife. I don't know. I haven't told her yet. We used to do it every year near the cars and just go, kids would come over, the parents would take pictures
You
with
know
the
what?
snowman.
To be honest with you, that would be awesome. You know, it's one of
Yeah.
the things I've talked about with the group is that, you know, think about, put yourself in a little kid's shoe. I did this with the staff today. I say, hey, what are your kids like? What is it now? You know, and so having KO's great, having a snowman's great. You know,
Yeah.
if there were some opportunities for some, you know, characters.
I don't know
Uh,
if, Captain, I don't know, but there used to be, McGruff used to be in your police station, McGruff.
Oh, I don't know, that's.
Al,
McGruff probably retired before I got here.
Al Gazzaro knows where the costume is.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
I'd have to call Al. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be
You know
nice
what?
to march with the police, maybe. I don't know.
You know what? Let, I don't have Al's, I used to have Al's
I
number.
have Al's number, so I can call him.
You
and-
know what? But to your point, Greg, I think that would be a nice diversity for, you know, diversifying the parade and having some actual characters. So
Yeah.
those are the kind of the things that the kids I think would be attractive to. So.
Yeah.
Thank you. These are all
Thank you.
great.
And
Pam,
I
you know,
think,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, Mary, I think Modern Auto Body, if it's not too late, I think they were thinking of putting a truck on as far as part of our association.
For the Montello Business Association, what you guys do for us and getting the word out. So I will write this down. I'll bring it back to Maureen. We'll put it on the list and then we'll get, when I went to the Montello Business Association last time, I did not even recognize him. What's his name?
Oh, Franny for story.
Franny, man.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
did not see him recognize him with,
His daughter Taylor, Franny's gonna be one of our cars, is antiques, but his daughter Taylor is like, kind of like, it's a transitioning over of a takeover of the business, so
good, good.
they want to do something to show their business and stuff, so.
That's awesome.
I'll-
That's great. Thank you.
Okay,
Look at you, Cynthia. No, in the chat already. Thank you. So, just Frank and Pam, I don't know if you have anything, but you're gonna be one of our lot captains. You're experienced and, it will also be, Richard Hook, Cynthia Pendergrass, and is it Linda from?
Julie Lane.
Julie. It's gonna be another set of captains. I have
Okay.
another woman, Jen, who works at the district attorney's office. She's gonna be another captain. So we're getting them lined up. I think once we get the captains and the lots, and Frank and Pam, are you usually at one lot versus another?
We each usually have,
We're both in the vicinity of Clinton and Belmont,
Great, okay.
all right?
And do you think it's gonna be necessary to have, you know, 2 for one and 2 for the other? I mean, with this year being a lot of participants, I'm just not, you know, all hands on deck.
the only issue is if somebody doesn't show, you know, then
Right. I think what we're gonna do just before the parade, actual parade, we're gonna all get together for the captains of the lots to talk about that scenario if it happens, because I think that's where we coordinate also with the PD. At some point, the thing has started, right? Stuff is gonna happen. We don't want to necessarily turn anybody away, but you know, anybody that's before, you know, if it's before Brockton High School and the ROTC, and we could fit them in safely, then I would say we fit them in safely. But other than that, it really is just a communication between the, you know, police department and then the captains, and, you know, you're seasoned and make your judgment. Any questions, right? Do you think anything different?
No, that's fine. We try to get everybody in. That's the purpose.
So what's with 80 who have signed up so far, I think the pace of the parade is really what's going to be important. And have you guys walked with your group, like when you got out of your lot, and have you walked around the parade, right?
we usually walk with them.
With
Yeah.
them.
Great, good.
Yeah,
To slow them
Wait.
down, to speed them up, or to, you
right.
know, make sure that there's not much of a lull in between,
I mean, what happens is they take off and then we run to catch up.
right?
So we're ahead of them.
Yep. So this year, we're gonna have, really are gonna have a lot of volunteers and there's never gonna be enough, right? But we're gonna, we usually give the people in the parade a number and it goes in their truck and then we need someone at the end of the parade to collect those numbers.
Right.
But
Well,
The ice-
and that was the other thing. In past years, we've run to the end
And just collect the numbers.
to try to collect the numbers when they're,
I-
so
I
if
think
you
we're
have somebody else there.
it's usually had been Richie Gowell and myself at the end of the parade, collecting those. We have a big box and then get deposited in there. But
Okay.
that's a day of logistic that we can talk about, but the idea is that we're gonna have people along the way. There's those stop signs to really kind of slow them down. And, again, the idea would be not for you to be running after them. The idea would that we would have enough volunteers to go along the parade route to take each of the separate groups. Doesn't mean 80 different people, but just, you can have like 3 groups that one person can kind of control and say, okay, slow down or speed up. So, but we can go through that. I know.
Yeah, I mean, we've never had help, Mary, so,
No,
it's usually us.
Right.
I know.
With his group,
Me,
I go
myself-
off with my group, so if there's more than one person, that's great.
It's amazing in how many places you can be in one parade, right, Pam and Frank?
That's right.
That's right.
But
Lisa,
but-
I have a question for you, though. So last year, and maybe Mary can answer this, there was a young girl who made the most amazing hot cocoa bombs.
Oh, right. She was a vendor.
And
She's gonna be there.
You know what, I can go back to the list. I actually remember who you're talking about, but she came in as a vendor, not in the food category. So I do remember,
she was a
That's it.
vendor. She was with yeah, she was.
Do we know the name? I can tell you if she's on the list.
Oh, and you know, and we
No.
kept her card and we kept.
We would,
but
she would be on the list from last year.
I'm gonna go pull that up.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I mean,
didn't
she
see it this
was,
year, Amanda, but we could call.
they
it.
were amazing and I only
Phenomenal.
had like
They sold out.
dollars in my pocket and I spent it all. So
Tell us about it. What is a cocoa bomb?
Oh,
you've never had a cocoa bomb?
okay. So let's talk about it.
It's-
Well, it's kind of like what you think it is. It's hot cocoa, but it's filled with, it's hot cocoa in the inside, or cocoa powder, and the outside is chocolate or another flavor
Or caramel.
caramel
Some other
or
flavors added
whatever.
to
And you just drop it in your cup and pour either water, or milk, and
Oh, so you drop it into your hot cocoa and it gives it
Yep.
like a.
well, you drop it into your water or your milk,
The hot water or
Yeah.
hot.
Oh,
and it gives you that.
got it. It
Hers
creates.
were amazing, and she had like 10 different
Yeah.
flavors.
We'll find
Wow.
them. I know for a fact we should be able to find them. And I think they might have been, because last year Black Owned Brockton was up over at Westgate Mall. And,
Right.
and so, but I believe this young woman might have come from Shalia. So she may not be on this time, but we'll find the name. So
Wow.
No, I'm just looking for, I'm hoping she's back.
Let's go into business.
I
exactly.
was gonna just.
Maybe with a little McGillicuddy in it too. So I know, right? So we're winding down here. So Frank and Pam, you guys are experienced. What I think what we'll do is we'll get 2 new people who are, responsible to be with each of you and
Okay.
take care of the Clinton and the district court. And then, we'll have Cindy and Julie, who are new. And again, it's going to be as simple as each of you will have a list. They've got to check in with your lot. We should be able to have
Right.
some good big signs. It should not be anything major. And then it's really as simple as checking them in and as
And
you go
lining
in
them up.
and lining them up in their order. Yep, Amanda?
I just wanted to say, don't forget we have Trish too.
Oh, Trish, that's right. Oh, gosh, that's right. Thank you. Thank you. You know what?
Mary, are we gonna have shirts or something that
We
identifies
do. It says
us?
there's some beautiful shirts and we just got the proof
I'll
today.
share it, Mary, so folks. can
Thank you.
see.
So when people signed up, even if they were a participant and a vendor, they signed up for a t-shirt. They're not getting the t-shirts. It's only the volunteers who are getting the t-shirt, because the volunteers will be the ones who will have all the information that we'll go through a whole run through about. So where are the bathrooms? The map is being created now. I'll have it ready for tomorrow, maybe Thursday. But it'll have locations where the bathrooms are. It'll have locations for parking. It'll have locations for you know, lot A, B, C, D, E, F, you know, where the library is. It will have all of that. So I know Amanda's looking at, so the point is the volunteers will all have the same t-shirt. And it was sent in the email to the counselors that Counselor Moses Rodriguez is going to be walking along the route. There we go.
Oh, cool.
Oh, those are nice.
That's nice.
So they don't have 2022 on it, so these can be used forever.
Good
And
idea.
then, I cannot take any credit for this. This is the creation of Amanda, and had some good input from some others, but so they're short sleeved on purpose. So then you, if it's a cold day, you can put a jacket under it, or you can put a thermal or something. And so, but people will know that you're the person to go to, and we'll have Santa hats as well.
And there's no date, so we can reuse them.
That's correct. Most importantly. So
And I just
Uh,
want to toss out that the color is a little different than in this rendering. They are maroon, so a little darker.
a little darker. Yeah.
Okay.
And I just wanted to add to the group as a standby, if it is a cold day and we are all completely covered. Mary, we talked about borrowing the vest, the
Yep.
neon vest, so that we can be identified
Yep.
as, you know, someone that can be a resource.
Correct. Yep.
But
thank
that's
you.
hopefully only needed if it's cold weather.
That's correct. Thank you for reminding me of that. I do have, there's some Old Colony Planning Council neon jackets that we use for our safety, traffic counts and things like that, that I know we can borrow as long as we get it back. So
Barry, I have a question.
Mhm. Yes.
Are we doing any kind of, are you doing any kind of booklet? Maybe I came in a little late. Is
Yeah.
there any booklet that you're doing for like showing people where the bathrooms are, like a paper that a sponsor could put?
So good question. We just did not have the time to pull that together, and to really get a volunteer to go after the, but there is a flyer that will have the map. We last year we had a pretty decent map that showed where everything is. You know, one side was the map, the other side was the activities, you know, where to go. So probably taking that listing that Amanda put together, and on the flip side of it, backside, there'll be a nice map, just so
Okay.
people can go, here's where it is. But, you know, John Marion had, oh, I gotta remember the Leopopolis, Marcus, it's his dad, Lee. He would go door to door and getting sponsorship. It's a good way of bringing in money. We just, again, some of the staffing power just wasn't there, but
Maybe next year we can bring it about the business associations. Will spread the word and do a collection and, you know, get some of these businesses to help
that
out.
would be great, Greg. Thank you. I think
Yeah.
this is where I think having, you know, you and Scott to be on board to help us expand, because we're never calling it, right? It's not called the Downtown Brockton Parade. It's called the Brockton Parade, the Holiday Parade. And we really want to make sure we're cognizant, even though it's physically downtown. We've been really making an effort to try to get businesses from both Campello and Montello to participate. You know, so anyway, there's always in this head, it's the wheels are going about what could be, and that's next year. If we can just get through this year, that would be great.
Yeah, yeah.
How about any questions? Cap, is there anything that you heard today that we need to be cognizant about?
No, nothing new, Mary.
Okay, great. Thank you. And then I know you're gonna have the cadets, you're gonna have BEMA folks. We probably should identify when we get closer to see if any of our volunteers can be of assistance to you. Again, we're gonna be closing down, and I think I said this to the insurance company, but we'll be closing down School Street, and we'll have the VFW in front of the flags that will be shut down as well.
Right.
So just the time of the parade, Crescent Street will be closed. And then, of course, West Elm Street to Main Street, and then Frederick Douglass Ave, and then Legion Parkway, of course. So the flyer of I just need a, Amanda, I'm probably gonna put this on you, but I just need a simple flyer that says holiday parade notice, from, these roads are closed. We hope that you can be part of the parade, right? So I need to go and drop those off to the downtown. These will be in addition to the ones you, Lisa, and Padilla are going to.
Yeah, I can do it, Mary, and I'll put it as the same
Okay.
theme as the other two flyers. That way we're consistent with the branding.
Perfect, thank you. Eddie, any questions for us?
Can you hear me? No, I go through Cap. We got a list of everything. We go over the maps. So forth and
Perfect.
So on. We meet a couple times ahead.
Good, that's great. I'm glad. Thank you very much for helping out. And if not, this would be our quickest holiday parade meeting. Just a couple takeaways. So, ooh, I cannot read my writing. My notes. I'll go back to this. Bill Hogan. I'm gonna connect Bill Hogan with you, Greg, and with Wheels of Time. KO, actually, we're gonna be back to KO and Wheels of Time. Lisa, I'm gonna follow up on the vest. If we can find some costume people, that maybe to add that to the parade as a diversity of some kid stuff. Who's gonna contact El Gazzaro? Okay, thanks, Greg. If you could, and you're gonna find out about McGruff, if you can just, oh, you're muted. Oh, hey, Greg. You're muted. I can't hear you.
I think he was talking to somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Greg, if you hold down your space bar, it'll unmute you while you talk.
Nope. Nope. This is like my Sunday night where we got into like, anyway, you just follow up with us, Greg. We'll connect. You have Fran from Modern is going to be in. We got that. You're going to reach out to Al Gazzaro and find out about McGruff, and if you can, add McGruff in. Those are just some quick takeaways. All right, so we're sitting on the 15th. We will have another meeting next Tuesday to see where we are. That will be an important one that we should have. We should really have everything in line and a little bit more of a plan to maybe have some separate conversations with the captain. So rather than having it on a Tuesday night, I mean, I'll see what we can do about getting captains on this meeting so we can just run through and they can, it could be any questions. So we'll have a complete list of the participants at that point, the vendors and other performers. So let me see where we are. Okay. So
If I could just quickly ask Pam, can you stay on the line one extra second? I did find last year's list. I just wanted to make sure I think I found the right person. So stay with me 1 second
actually,
when
why don't
everybody
you
wraps
share,
up.
why don't you share it with all of us so we can,
I can. I just sent it to you and Amanda via
Oh,
email, but I just
okay,
all good.
oops.
This was last year's list.
Sorry.
Can
Thank
you make me a host and I can
I can. I will. Make co-host. And here we go.
get in there? Your co-host.
I'm sorry, here we are.
Huh? The young
Oh,
girl,
we can hear you.
I know.
I know.
What's their name?
So down the left column of the screen, there's all these community
Yes.
groups in Marketplace.
Oh, God.
Can't read it.
You can't, it's called Simple Sweets,
Mm.
Sweets and Salty Scrubs.
No,
I
that was,
just,
Wasn't her.
that was or was not.
Was not.
Okay, I'll keep looking. I just didn't know if it rang a bell, that's all.
no, but I know that wasn't it. It was
Okay.
two young girls.
Well, you know what, I'll look, I may have the list at another, in an Excel spreadsheet. So thank you, Lisa,
Okay.
for looking. That's great. But we'll find someone to do the hot chocolate bomb. And if it's not them, we'll ask Elvira's to do that at their place. So I know, Greg, you're still on mute, so
Oh, no.
He
He
must
was
be talking to
off.
somebody else.
He unmuted, but then he.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, sorry, I X'd around them, I'm all over the place, but I'm sorry, Mary. I'll get Al Gazero about the McGruff suit at the police department.
Yeah.
You were gonna get in touch with someone in the courthouse for the parking for the antique
right.
cars.
Correct.
I'll wait to hear from you, and yes, I'll get in touch with Martin, tell him to get that straightened out.
Great.
What else are we talking?
We need to register you and your team.
Oh, yes, I'll register myself as the captain of my group.
Great.
We'll figure out a name.
Mary,
and,
I registered Greg already.
Oh,
Oh,
look
thank
at
you.
that.
No worries.
Thank you.
What's your
All right,
name?
thank you.
What's your name, Greg? What did you want to be named?
We'll just call us the Montello Antique Cars. Is that
That's
okay?
exactly
Is it
what
too
I
late?
put.
Oh,
That's
good.
what I put.
Well, perfect. Perfect.
Amanda's on fire. That's it.
She's
Yeah.
always on fire. All right. I appreciate everybody.
All right.
I just want to make sure if we're going to get off this meeting that we're all on the same page of what's going to be done. Again, thank you, Lisa, for all your hard work. That getting those food vendors is certainly a driver to come here and going out tomorrow with Kadi, and then to Cynthia and to Pam and to Frank and to Greg and to Mark and to Eddie, who left. He's like, I'm out. But Amanda, of course.
And
Amanda.
thank you, Mary. Thank
No,
you,
Yeah,
Mary.
Mary.
Listen, guys, this is great, and
Love you.
I know it. So once I'm done with this parade, I have a whole nother summit for my organization that's got about 150 people coming to it. So I've got to rest a little bit and then go on. But listen, we'll see you next Tuesday. And if there's any questions, just send either along a text. So thank you, everybody. Amanda, can you stay on for a second?
See you guys.
Thank you. Good night.